Welcome to the big show.
He could go all the way.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event. Let's get ready to rumble!
Sorry about that. I had it right the first time. I switched
What's
it
going
up.
on, man?
Not much. How you doing?
Man, I can't complain. It's definitely been a rough day. You can see I'm a little scruffy. I had a lot of work I had to get done, man. But we are here. And hold on, I want to do this intro right. This is our 10th episode. So hold on. This is
That's
big
right.
deal.
That's right.
So,
Take two.
let me clear myself. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, I would like to bring to you the greatest professional advancement football podcast show in these United States of America. It is The Rundown, crew. And this is episode 10. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming in. It is our first official kick-off show for the season. The season starts tomorrow for the PFA. Officially, no more preseason, no more games, no more little paddywhack, give a dog a bone. It's the real deal, like Holyfield. All right, we've been waiting for this moment, the build-up, anticipation. Of course, I am Chris Cousins. To my left is my man, as always, Brian Mitchum. Here again, episode 10. This is big. 10 episodes, man. What do we got for him this week, Brian? We got a big show, man.
Man, we got Coach Henderson supposed to join us tonight of Glass City Tigers. We got KP of Rubbish University. And we also got Jimmy Melton of the Neo Pit Bulls join us. And as we break it down and we'll go through the games for 3A and 2A. And Chris, we'll look at the keys of the games for each team and we'll also pick our winners. We're going to have a little competition like the NFL Sunday does. But I didn't get a chance to make the graphic, but we'll keep track of it as we go. You are watching episode 10 of The Rundown. We will be right back.
This is Jay Law, receiver for the Flag City Phantoms. You watching The Rundown.
And we're back.
All
This
right.
segment is sponsored by Creamy Coconut Dr. Pepper. Not really, but it's actually pretty good.
Hey, putting out there in the atmosphere. We're putting out there in the atmosphere.
That's right.
All right, but welcome back, everybody. Again, this is The Rundown, episode number 10. For those who have been with us since the beginning, we appreciate you. Before I even get started, Brian, you know, I know, definitely want to shout out the Rundown crew, the mob, the 1,200 followers that we just reached this week. I'm so excited. I'm so appreciative. I know Brian is, we talk about it all week. Okay, we smiles on our faces. We tell everybody, okay? So we appreciate you guys literally doing what we asked you to do, just pressing that like button, pressing that follow button, or pressing that subscribe button on YouTube channel. We definitely appreciate that. So, Brian, you want to say anything before we get into it about our crew, about the fans, man?
No, I appreciate the likes and follows, and keep them coming, and we'll keep the content going and try our best to spotlight everybody. You know, excited about the season, and hands down, I think we're probably the best podcast for any league in the Midwest, man. I mean, we're probably the only podcast right now, but I know there's a few other out there, but
we're the best.
doing the best we can. I think we're managing. I think we're doing pretty damn good.
Hey, we only gonna get better though. But as we said before, this is the kickoff of the PFA season. It starts tomorrow. We have 8 games kicking off tomorrow. I mean, when I say we cannot be more excited, me and Brian cannot be more excited for the season to begin. We've been going through what team. I mean, the turmoil of the off season is over.
Oh yeah.
The PFA has been through a lot during the off season. 3 teams floated. We still were able to go ahead and make sure
Teams
everybody
canceling at the last minute.
Oh my God, we've been through a lot, but we're still here, and tomorrow it starts. But go ahead, B.
But before we talk about week 1, Chris, we had some preseason games last Saturday as well. We had Flag City Phantoms versus Cincinnati Dukes. We had the West Side Cheetahs versus the Kentucky Pirates, and we had the Neo Pit Bulls versus Cleveland Rams. That was another crazy game. We'll try to talk about that when Jimmy gets on here. The Dukes in the Flag City game, the Dukes would come out in the first half, man, and just put up some points. They put up like 26 points on the Phantoms, and it looked like the Phantoms were in some trouble. And but they would go into halftime, make some adjustments, and come out and almost made it a game, almost came back. And I think what was it? It was 32-21 at like fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, unfortunately, it was a little too late to make a comeback, and they ended up losing to the Dukes 38-21, I believe. But so they go 1-2 for the season, for the preseason, with wins over the Columbus Gladiators and losses to the Wolfpack and the Dukes. So they were supposed to kick off week 1 versus the Ohio Gladiators out of the Tri-Point Football League, but Ohio Gladiators get the dud award for this week, and they won't be playing. We're sorry to hear that the Flag City won't get to play this weekend, but
yeah, that's for sure. Now, the Northern Kentucky Wolfpack took on the Kentuckian. I'm probably saying this wrong. The
Kentucky Cavalry
out of the BCFL. And honest to God, I'm not even going to sugarcoat this. It was a massacre. Okay, respect to the Cavalry and what you're trying to do, but 50 points was put up before halftime. Scoring plenty, bunches and dunches. Okay, holding the Cavalry down to just 6 points. Really finishing the preseason 2-2. They had wins. The Wolfpack had wins over Flag City in their first preseason game, and they also had wins over, of course, the Cavalry. But they also took some devastating losses against Port City, Spartans, and also against the Neo Pit Bulls. But they do travel tomorrow to the number 1 team in the nation, the Detroit Ravens, which will no doubt be a huge test for them. And we definitely will see what they're all about come tomorrow. And I think the game starts at 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock, I think the game starts.
I think most of the games start at 7, right?
Yeah, I think they start about 7. Unless specified other than that, the games usually do start at 7 o'clock. Also, we had the West Side Cheetahs. They took on the Kentucky Pirates in Kentucky, and boy, when I tell you, the Cheetahs were walking the plank. Okay, the score at halftime was 45-0. I will give the Cheetahs credit. They never did stop fighting. They never did stop playing. Final score ended up being 56-0. This was their only last preseason game that they had the whole preseason. So, we can't really tell too much from the team per se because Kentucky Pirates were a step up. They were not a 2A team. So, I mean, they were kind of out of their comfort zone, played a top tier team, and probably got some learning lessons from that. Now, their big test ahead of them, they will take on the 2A national champs, which the Phantoms just saw last week in the Cincinnati Dukes out of the BCFL. They'll be taking them on next. And lastly but not least, you can't forget those Pit Bulls. They took on the Cleveland Rams, and what was crazy, not time consuming.
If anything, this game got the record for the fastest football game ever played on the history of the earth. 4 quarters of football played in an hour, pretty much. And
with delays. But again, preseason, we don't want to sit there and cry over spoiled milk. I know Coach Jimmy Milton doesn't want to. I know we'll get to that when I'm definitely going to ask him how he feels about it when we get him here on the show here in a little bit. But the Rams end up taking the win against the Neo Pit Bulls, 8-0 in that game. The Pit Bulls end up finishing the regular season out with a 1-2 record. Losses against Cincinnati Bucks, and they won against the Northern Kentucky Wolfpack.
And they do host the Michigan Gators coming up tomorrow too as well.
Okay.
Coming up next on the show, Coach Henderson of Glass City Tigers is supposed to be on the show, but I have not been able to get a hold of him, and he has
a fan base rundown crew. You might hit up Mr. Henderson if you're watching this right now. Please go hit him, Mr. Henderson. We've been trying to get in contact with him today so we can send in the string.
We know he's a busy man. He's a Hollywood reporter. He's an actor. He is many hats. So maybe he's on the red carpet rubbing elbows with some Hollywood stars. I don't know. I mean,
that's why we wanted to get him on the show. No, big time.
Right. But hopefully we'll have him on here right after this.
Hey, y'all, this is Aaron Sanders, owner of the Flag City Phantoms, and you're watching Rundown, baby. Let's go.
So,
all right.
We're going to go ahead and skip over Coach Henderson for a while. We'll just skip to our preview of the games a little bit and see if he can join us. If not, we'll just wing it like we always do. Right, Chris?
Hey, man. That's what we do. We'll write our best.
We'll start off with our games. Our first game of the week is that our game of the week for the rundown. Our first game of the week in 3A is the Cincinnati Bucks versus the Indy Bison. We've been waiting for this matchup for a while since it was announced, Chris. We've heard from Coach Wheeler. We have heard from Mo Money. The chatter is big in this game of the week, so I'm sure the talk has been larger than life. This game has all the makings of an epic game. Both teams are well-rounded, good squad. You know, Indy Bison national champion bowl game in Florida this year. Cincinnati Bucks, you got Maurice Mo Money Lovett throwing some, breaking the clock, breaking the records. You know, so I think it's gonna be either a high-scoring game or a defensive battle. Who knows? Who do you got for that game?
I'm definitely biased. You know what I mean? Just being an Ohio guy, you know, I'm always gonna root for my Ohio team. But no, I've definitely seen I definitely have respect for the Indy Bison. I definitely know they are a good organization. They definitely deserve respect. I watched them up in Florida this past year when I was up there with the Pit Bulls. They definitely played a great game from what I saw. But I can't go against my man Mo Money. Mo Money is one of the best quarterbacks that we do have in professional advanced football that I've seen in a while. And he leads his team well, and they're also coached up well by Coach Wheeler and his guys and his staff. So I definitely see it being a tight game. I see some peaks, some valleys, you know, kind of like a heavyweight fight. But I definitely do see the Bucks coming out on top with the dub. Now next, I can't get to my paper; it doesn't want to roll down. But I know that we have in 2A. And that's why I definitely want to ask Rubbish when he gets on here. We have the Michigan Bills Mafia, stand up, against the Michigan Gators. I like the Gators. All right, and an epic battle for Michigan, not only for Michigan, but both these teams came out the preseason undefeated. I think am I saying that right? Or did the Gators lose one game?
The Gators are 2-0, I believe.
Okay, I was right. Yeah, both of them came out. Yeah, because they beat the yes sir. Yes, sir. Both of them is undefeated. So we got the Bills at 3-0 in the preseason. Gators went 2-0 in the preseason. Both young upstart teams. And when I say young upstart, means they have a young talent on their team, not a lot of old veterans. They got some vets, but not a lot of them. So it's very youthfulness. Very good organization from what I can tell. Mike Anderson doing his thing over there with the Bills, as well as those BT, those boys, those Gators. But in this game, my pick, Brian, I'll ask you when I say mine. I'm gonna go with the Mafia, man. I'm gonna go with the Bills Mafia in this one. I like what they're doing.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to go with the Bills as well. I mean, they're 3-0 during the preseason, and they got that momentum going. I know the Gators had a couple of good games and no slouches either, but I feel like not the Gators. What am I talking about? I'm lost because we're out of order.
Right.
Yeah. No, I'm lost.
No, I'm wrong. We're wrong. Because my thing is not moving either. They play the BTA boys.
Hang on.
I know I'm tripping. I know I'm tripping. My everything is
Yeah, the Bills versus the Rams. That's my fault. I think I had it wrong on there.
Because I said BTA and I stopped myself.
No, you're right. You're right. Yeah.
We apologize. Sometimes we get things wrong, folks. That's okay. We're gonna get them right.
Right.
They played the Motor City Rams.
It's been a crazy week.
But they played the Motor City Rams.
I'm going with the Bills on this as well. I mean, I know the Rams were in the MIFA championship last year against the Ravens, and I know they're no slouches, but my pick is
they did win their national championship.
Yes.
They played in the tournament and they won out. They had to play like 2 or 3 games in that tournament. They ended up playing in that national in Florida, and they won all 3. So respect to them. You know what I'm saying? Respect to them. No, BTA, belt to ass. You know, they said belt to is tomorrow. So Bills Mafia, don't get whooped. But definitely going to be a good game if you're in the Michigan area. Please check that out. We're definitely going to. I know for a fact it's going to be live streamed. All PFA games are live streamed by the teams that are playing. You can find the live streams on the player PFA website or on the Rundown website. Me and Brian always try to put the live games on the web, on our page, our Facebook page, so you guys can click on them and see them. And sometimes I myself try to attend the games and do a live stream for you guys as well.
Man, none of our guests are they're all missing in action.
I know Jimmy wanted to come on later because I know he has some, Jimmy's still in the process of moving.
Well, I told him what time to be on. I had him in the third.
Yeah, because he was going to be like later on. Is Rutgers University?
I haven't heard from him either. Somebody said Coach Henderson's Facebook was down, but I don't, because he didn't get my message this morning, so maybe that's why it's down. But he doesn't need to use Facebook to get on. He just needs a device.
Just needs a device. Just needs a cell phone.
Well, we're 0 for 2 so far in guess, man, but that's all right. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll come back with some more game previews, man.
Be sure to check out the rundown.
All right, we're back, and I KP said he is on his way.
Cool.
And then Jimmy just said he'll be ready soon. He's moving some stuff around the new house. Take your time, Coach. Take your time. You've got a few minutes. I think we'll get back on track.
I get some more time there.
So KP should be joining us, but we'll see if he can get on the stream.
Hey, that's why. You know why? See, that's why we were discombobulated. We had one team right and one team wrong. See, the game of the week was supposed to be the Gators against the Pitbulls.
Okay, and that's what the notes. I had my notes that way, right?
That was in our notes. I'm just looking at them right now. We had the Michigan Gators against the Pitbulls, and then our 3A game was
the Sin City and the Ravens, or the Bison. See, like
the Bison.
Look, my excuse is I'm out in the 100-degree heat today. It was 90-something degrees here in Florida, and I'm delirious from the sun.
Melting. You're melting. Yeah. So the Bison. And what we mean by game of the week, that means the next time when we go on the next show next Thursday, fellas, we're going to be looking at those two games a little more in depth, and we're also going to try to get players from that game to be onto the show. So whenever you hear us say game of the week, those are probably going to be the people that we're going to have on the show to talk about the game from either team, whether it be a player, team rep, or head coach. We're going to have them in here after the game is played. So we're always going to do two because we have two divisions, 3A and 2A. So every week we will be doing a game of the week, and we also, for those two games that we pick, we also will be giving out player of the game awards on offense and defense.
And special team. That's if we get the stats.
Oh yeah, special team.
That's if we get the stats. You know, we've been hounding the coaches and the owners in the chat for the league chat for weeks and weeks and weeks to turn in their stats, and hopefully they will get that to us. And also we're waiting on the roster so I can track all the stats to the players. That made it a little easier for me. But KP was on. He's in the waiting room, so there he is. Our next guest, Chris, is the owner, host. I don't know I know he's the owner. It's his thing. So of Rubbish University, and he'll be covering games in Michigan this season for us as well. Let's welcome the man only known as KP to the show. What's up, man? How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. How about you guys?
I'm good.
I'm doing all right, man. Appreciate you taking time out your schedule to talk to us tonight, man.
Oh, absolutely, man. I'm just whipping together dinner at the time. So
you are basically our boots down in Michigan, okay? Because you're on the scene. You know a lot of the teams. You know a lot of what's going on. You got a big game coming up this week with the Bills Mafia taking on the BTA boys. Give us a little insight on the rivalry. Is it a rivalry? Is it
So I mean, it's a slight rivalry. It's not a historic one, but it's a fairly new one. Basically, the Bills are a new team. They've only played, I think, 2 games now since their union. They are made up of a lot of players that were with the Wayne County Badgers. And then, the Rams had their first inaugural season last year, and they did fairly well. They made it all the way to the league championship. So this one's definitely had a lot of heat going back and forth. For those that are in the Michigan group, it's been a lot of back and forth talk. Especially since they have first game of the season. I mean, that's huge. It's not like the Rams have had a ton of games to warm up for this, and the Bills have. That's their advantage. They've had 3 games together over the past few weeks that have really, brought them together and made some of their skills shine.
Let's talk to Detroit Ravens, because we all know that they're not being, you drive in Detroit anywhere, you see that big ass billboard that they got, which is great, by the way. Kudos to Dave Smith, my buddy Dave Smith, who's been helping me trying to get some kind of stat thing going. And we're working on it behind the scenes, but obviously they were in the MIFA last year. Now with the PFA, with their schedule they got. Obviously, it's not no slap schedule. They play a good competition. Do you see them getting knocked off that mountain this year with their schedule that they have by any of the teams that they play?
I really don't. I really don't. I think there's a different level when it comes to the Ravens. The billboard thing says something on its own. The fact that, they're one of probably the only teams in the nation to have one.
Right.
There's thousands of semi-pro teams. So, they set a different level, a different standard when it comes to semi-pro. I think that's one of their big things. But I definitely think this year will definitely be a milestone. They lost a lot of the veterans, and so now they have to show that they have the ability and the best coaching to be able to recuperate after that. Yeah, no, I think the schedule is going to be tough for sure, but I definitely think they'll come out on top and they'll continue that winning streak. And, I think it's going to be a record for them. Their winning streak previously was something close to 30, I think. And I think after this season, they'll be far beyond that.
I think they're 26-0 right now.
Yep.
So if they play 10 games without playoffs, they'll be 34-0 if they go win out. But I don't know. Me and Chris have been talking about that. We don't think there going to be any team in the PFA, especially the 3A, that will go undefeated because of the strength of schedule.
Because of that, yeah. I could understand that, absolutely. My thing is that they beat these teams before. I think the teams maybe they haven't played would be if they've got Buccaneers or Flag City on that schedule. Right. Indy Bison is going to be a tough away game, and we all know for semi-pro teams that the away games are some of the most challenging. There's getting all your guys to be able, not only call off work, but get in the bus or make that car ride 4 or 5 hours, and then even the toll that takes to take that kind of trip. When it comes to college and NFL, you're flying in beforehand, whether it's days or 2 days beforehand, so you get time to kind of get your energy back. But for semi-pro, you're doing it the day of. You're driving. Sometimes you're even getting there right as the game's starting, and you need to hurry up and scramble to warm up. So, yeah, I think that they definitely have a challenging schedule. We'll see what happens.
What about the game for them? I'm sorry, Chris. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Brian. I got one question.
The game this weekend versus the Wolfpack. You think it's going to break you think they're going to break the scoreboard?
I've got some inner people that told me that they're not letting up at all. So I think the only thing that could save them is going to be a running clock.
Oh man,
we don't run clocks in the PSA. Let me
yeah, and the Ravens
we play games for the right amount of time.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. This game's not going to be done in an hour.
No,
it's going to be it's going to be a long game if they're not going to let up and put in the fifth stringers.
Exactly.
I wanted to ask you, like, how did I know you do the Rubbish University? Explain us how you came up with the concept. Explain us what Rubbish University is, what it does. How do you use that platform?
So over the last couple of years, I was kind of influenced by this whole YouTube, just a world, everything where, you've got Nelk, you've got some of the biggest people in the world that have just kind of transitioned from, modern TV and being able to hold up your own, whether you're on NBC or anything like that, Netflix, stuff like that. It seems like everybody's kind of gearing towards YouTube. I decided I want to create my own brand and my own media platform, and I wasn't sure exactly what that was going to be. But I had been in the semi-pro world for about 6 years, so I just figured, okay, maybe this is the kind of world that I need to build exposure for. So I took what I knew, what I had, the kind of people I had around me, and I was like, okay, we're gonna build something great. I think what we did with the season 1 of Rubbish University was just kind of the start of something that we're gonna make huge. We're in talks with major broadcasting, and ended up going that direction as far as being on mainstream media. So I just kind of had to make a structure of something like that can kind of show what's possible with semi-pro. It's gotten a bad name over the years, just so many things, and I think there's a way to shine a better light on it and give players the exposure they deserve.
That's for sure. So obviously you're based in Michigan, and there's a ton of teams in Michigan, not just in the PFA, but you got the other teams around the state of Michigan. Do you feel like the talent and the competition is getting watered down because there's so many teams, and organizations like the Ravens, Rams, and maybe even the Gators have been around for multiple years? I know the Rams and the Gators are kind of new, but they're comprised of other teams that were around for a while. Will these other teams survive, you think?
Well, in the long years I've been with semi-pro, especially in Michigan, I've seen a lot of teams come and go. Even now, you'll still see 3 or 4 teams talking about we still need players and everything like that. We had talked about it last year. when there were supposed to be 5 new teams. And it's like, if you have, 25 to 30 players per team, where's 100+ players coming from, and so you see what happens. You'll see a team pop up for a little bit and then they disappear. It has kind of watered down the competition because it seems like players think that it's so easy to just build one of these programs, build one of these organizations. But the true great organizations have been around for so many years. Gators, Ravens, there was the Seminoles, they became the Rams. But yeah, there's a ton of potential. I think these teams just have to come and go and learn as they go.
No, I definitely agree with you. I played semi-pro ball. That's what it was called when I played it, because that's what it was. For about 10 years, been through the traveling, nobody video recording your games, no live streams, no buses. 8-hour drive, 8-hour turnaround. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
I definitely understand the concept of what we're trying to do now, as far as being in the media, trying to give players that I wish I would have had that platform to be able to play live stream games, be able to get interviews, make it seem what we were saying it should be in the first place, and that's professional. So I definitely kudos for you for holding down Michigan. My question to you is to piggyback off of what Brian said, because there's so many teams, and I always ask all the Michigan fans, and we know Ravens number, but do you think there ever will be, like, I think Ohio should have one because we have the same problem, but do you think there will ever be like a Michigan tournament, like a Michigan playoff, like after the seasons are over?
Yeah,
Michigan.
Exactly. That would be interesting, but it seems like that's kind of what's happened over the past 2 or 3 years because, before the past 2 or 3 years, most of the leagues did comprise of Ohio, Pennsylvania, other states, Illinois even. But the past 2 or 3 years where MIFA began, Midwest Elite Football Alliance, that kind of was just 3 years back to back to back of all the Michigan teams. The only teams not in the league were kind of lesser teams, and you even saw, the Ravens had the Patriots coming up, and then the Patriots jumped league. Yeah. So it's like, I think if that were to happen, it would kind of be same results, same kind of, Ravens won it back to back to back. So I don't see any sort of other direction from that. Anything can happen any given Saturday, but it seems like we're getting the consistently same result.
Go ahead, Brian.
Where are you going to be covering at this week? Which game are you going to be at in Michigan?
We're in between this Rams and Bills game and then also the Ravens game. It doesn't seem like there's much else that would be, worthy of the media. So, we're in between both. We might be able to capture both. We're really want to make it a last-second decision and, keep people surprised.
Right.
We know your money is on the Ravens. That's a done deal. Who's your money on in the battle of the new school, I should say, with BTA and the Bills? You don't have to give me a score. Tell me you think my
if I had to put my money on it, honestly, I might say I might go with the Rams. As much as the Bills are promising, I think it's a lot of players that might not be able to live up to the moment. If we're expecting a close game, those are some young players where the Rams are filled with veterans that have been here before and know what they need to do. So I give the Rams the advantage. I'd say by a touchdown.
Okay. I definitely appreciate the insight. Like I said, me and Brian we definitely going to be calling on you a lot to get some insight about the Michigan teams, some background, because I know some of them, but I don't know a lot of them. So we'll definitely be using you as our boots to the ground.
For sure. And I appreciate you guys having me on the platform. I love what you guys are doing. You guys are taking it a step further than we were doing it. And I love that you guys are doing this weekly because that's going to be important for the league and, going around the whole semi-pro world.
Definitely, Chris and I, like you said, we look forward to your coverage for Michigan throughout the season. But before we let you go, tell the audience where they can find you and where they can find your channel and all that.
Yeah, Rubbish University on YouTube. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share. We're going to be releasing episodes. They come out about a week after the game, and just so that way we're consistently getting an episode underneath our belt. I mean, as much exposure as we can get on that would be appreciated.
Yeah, send us some clips and we'll play them on here. Like a recap or something. We
For
definitely
sure.
got your we got your logo under our media partners, so we play that. So try to get as much exposure as we can. So we'll let you go so you can enjoy your dinner, and we'll have you on, man. We're gonna probably get you on at least every couple weeks or every week if you want, man, just to talk about the Michigan games. So so people can hear somebody else besides Chris and I yakking all the time.
Absolutely. I appreciate your guys' time. You guys have a good one.
You too. That was KP from Rubbish University. Man, we're going to have some great information with him covering games for us, and or getting information to us that he covers anyways, and definitely looking forward to that. So thanks again for him joining us tonight. And I think Coach Henderson is going to have to be rescheduled because I cannot get a hold of him. But that's okay. And now I can't hear you, Chris. No. Uh-oh. I can't hear Chris. Oh. Wait. Are you there now? I think you're muted. Oh. No. You were muted somehow. I don't know what you did, but you muted yourself. Same problem Jeff had last week. Can't hear you, Chris. Okay. Hopefully Chris will he probably hit a button or something, and that's okay. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Dusty Dye, Northeast Ohio Pitbulls. We're watching the rundown.
And we are back. We're going to give Chris a few minutes to jump back on. That was KP from Rubbish University, giving us his takes on the Michigan teams in the PFA. There's a lot of teams in Michigan that are in the PFA, so it's hard to pick who is going to be in the championship or who could be in the championship from Michigan. But one that really no one is not good, that always going to pick is the Ravens, because of their record and just the standard they set. Okay, Chris is back on. Let's see if you can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Hey, I can hear you. Hey. Awesome. Jimmy said give about 10 minutes and he'll be on. So but yeah, I was saying that was
we covered the rest of the games.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Let me see where we left off at.
We had we did Bills BTA, which again we apologize for the misunderstanding. The first Bills will play the BTA, the Motor City Rams, tomorrow. Game one from the jump. Then we also are going to have the Gators from Michigan are going to be playing against the Northeast Ohio Pitbulls.
That was our 2A game of the week.
That is our 2A game of the week. Our 3A game of the week is the Michigan Bills against.
No. It was Cincinnati Bucks and the Bison.
I'm sorry, Cincinnati Bucks. I keep messing up. Cincinnati Bucks against the Bison is our 3A game of the week. Cincinnati Bucks against the Bison. Our 2A game of the week is the Neo Pitbulls against the Gators.
But we'll just jump right into it. The Ravens and the Northern Kentucky Wolfpack. Chris, I just don't see that the Ravens win streak is going to end in week 1. But this will definitely be a teaching moment for the Wolfpack going against number 1 team in the country. It's going to be a tough game. And so props to Northern Kentucky Wolfpack for making the travel. I don't know. Are they traveling?
I mean, I want to play devil's advocate and say they're going to give them a run for their money. I really do, because I saw them in action against the Pitbulls, so I saw what they were capable of.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I saw they did have a lot of guys. You know what I'm saying? There, we'll see how they travel, because I know this game is away, so we'll see how they travel. But we'll see if they fix some of the miscues that they had in the Pitbull game, because again, they flat-handedly beat the Phantoms. You know what I mean? So there is some potential there. But to say that, I'd be crazy to say first week out the gate you're going to go against the reigning champion and knock them down. But I do think they're capable of giving them a better game than what people are probably perceiving them of doing. You know, I will give them that. But I'm still taking a Ravens.
They definitely can come out and at least make it a game if they come out with their heads level.
I think they'll make it more competitive than people think. I think if you see the score and it's only say 28-14, I wouldn't be surprised. You know what I'm saying? So I think everybody is thinking that, you know, it's going to be this runaway freight train. But I do want to, you know, tell the viewing public that when we were part of the board, and when Commissioner Duncan chose these teams to be in the PFA, we really didn't look at 3A, 2A. We looked at the organizations and the talent that the organizations have. Right. So a lot of our 2A teams have a lot of talent that can match up with 3A teams. So we don't really look at the divisions too much when we play amongst each other. If we
did, then every team would be playing everybody in their division 6 times, you know. So next we have the Glass City Tigers hosting the Columbus Fire. We only seen the Glass City play once during the preseason. As far as the Columbus Fire, I don't know much about them. I know somebody on the board, our staff was on the Columbus Fire. I think it was Joe, right? Was it Joe? Mm-hmm. But I have to go with Glass City in this one, man. I think that they're outmatching the Columbus Fire, and they're going to come out with the victory.
It pains. This is another game that's tough for me. I'm born and raised from Columbus. I went to high school ball, played high school ball in Toledo. So the Fire against the Tigers is definitely a home game for me on both sides. But I would have to say in this instance, I was able to. The Tigers have played 2 preseason games already. They went 1-1. The one that they lost was actually a tough loss against the Michigan Gators. They won their first game against the Michigan Hurricanes. It was 8-0. Going up against the Fire, again, you can never underestimate them. There's a great organization, even though it might be on the downside of its reign in years. But you never can doubt the talent that they're able to acquire. So because of the hiccups that I've been seeing, the inconsistencies, I could say, I've been seeing from the Tigers, I'm going to have to tip my hat. I know I said GTT earlier in the week, but the more I thought about it, I'm going to have to go with the Fire on this one.
All right, I'm changing your.
I'm going to have to go with the Fire. I know I said I did. I was home, but the more I thought about it, you know, and I was just like, you know, you can't never count out the Fire that way. And as much as I know Coach Henderson and them are striving to do better than what they did last season, which was great what they did last season, as far as setting the tone of what kind of organization they were going to be, how hard-nosed hitting football they play. I played against the Fire so many times,
right,
that I just know that, even though it's like I said, even though I know they're on the lighter side of the hill, it's almost like when you get that you push that rattlesnake in that corner, you just never know.
Right.
So it's like betting against Brady.
The Lima Warriors traveled to Indy to take on the Indy Assassins. The Assassins have been around for a few years, and they always seem to reappear every start of the season. But last season they folded halfway through or 3/4 of the way through. So you never know what's going to happen when you go to Indy to play the Assassins. I feel if Lima comes out and starts scoring points from jump, they're going to come home with the 1-0 for first week of the season, man. Because but if they can handle the hostile environment going to Indy, like I said, I'm picking Lima for this one. I'm giving Lima some support, and I'm going to say they come home from Indy as 1-0.
I mean, that's not. I can't even. I'm not even going. I apologize because I can't. I think we both went Lima for this one, right?
I think so. I think you told me Lima.
Yeah, I believe I went Lima because one of the reasons why I think we agreed on it because even though Lima is rebuilding, you know what I'm saying, a prominent organization of days old, not rebranding but rejuvenating it. One thing I can tell you, those Lima is not going to not play 4 quarters. Those boys don't give up. Those boys, they don't care who they play. They show up for the game. I played against Lima too, and I can honestly say that about they always find players who are going to play. No matter their talent, their skill, they're going to find somehow, some way to use them in a way that benefits the team. Don't know too much about the Assassins. We did see him in a preseason game against
the Bills.
And that didn't go too well. So I'm going to lean toward, because of that, I'm going to lean toward, consistency. And Lima's been more consistent with showing up and trying to play all 4 quarters. So it's probably going to be a tough battle. Probably going to be a close game. But I'm like you. I'm going to go ahead and go with the Warriors to get that first game win.
Right. The next game we have is the Michigan Bills versus the Motor City Rams. We kind of already talked about that one a little bit. I just think the Rams. No, you picked the Bills, buddy.
Did I pick? I picked the Bills. I picked the Bills. I did pick the Bills. I thought you picked the Rams.
I did pick the Rams. I'm playing devil's advocate. I can't always be the. I can't always be the. I picked the Bills. Right. Hang on, I'm answering a question for Jimmy.
Yeah, I picked the Bills, and merely because, like I said, from what I've seen so far in preseason, they're clicking on offense. Number one, like clicking. They've at least put up 30 points in 3 preseason games. They've put up 30 points. I want to say at least 2 times out of those 3 games. I know for a fact in the scrimmages they definitely was putting up more than 30 points.
Right.
So they're definitely, the offense is definitely moving. Now we will be able to see how it fares against I won't say a perennial defense, but a tough defense, and a defense that knows them. So again, I still think this is going to be a close game, but I'll go with my boy Mike Anderson and his boys. I'll go with them.
All right. Let's see what's next. I think Jimmy's trying to get on. We have the West Side Cheetahs versus Cincinnati Dukes. We haven't really seen what the Cheetahs have. And their preseason game against the Kentucky Pirates didn't go in their favor. But like we said earlier, they showed up. They played 4 quarters of football, got their ass whooped, and they still played. So, I mean, they're going to have to do something different against the Dukes. The Dukes, like Flag City was down to them, and they started to make a comeback. Not sure what the secret was to that. But effort, maybe
effort and not miscues. They had a lot of penalties in that first half of that game. They kept shooting themselves in the foot, and basically those turnovers that they end up that Northern Kentucky forced. The Cincinnati Dukes forced. They were end up being able to capitalize on those, and that's what all good teams do. They capitalize on your mistakes. So hopefully the Cheetahs, come to play, make it a game. I'm sorry, but Chris can't go with you on this one. I'm taking the Dukes.
Jimmy's having trouble trying to get onto the stream. I'm not sure why the link's not working.
And we do this, fellas, because we're not trying to. This is so we clearly show y'all that we're not showing no bias. We picking teams that's not even in our league, okay?
Right.
And that said that means nothing against you guys. The fit for the teams that are in our league, but it's our job as media personnel to be truthful and not be biased. So we can't always pick the PFA, fellas. Okay.
And don't take it personally. Don't get upset with us, especially with the rankings.
Oh yeah,
I know.
Let's say that too. Thank you, Brian.
I know. There's been some grumblings about the rankings, but
we'll be going by record. Okay.
Yeah.
Record. So whatever your record is, that's where you'll be ranked. That's how we're gonna keep it real plain and simple. Dubs and losses. Now I think me and Brian and Commish, we did possibly think about doing point differential, points allowed, points allowed, points for. Maybe do that, but as of right now,
it comes down to your record.
Dubs and losses. Okay, that's what's being counted. All right. I don't want to. If you 0-1 and y'all still think y'all the truth, but you're ranked number. Listen, you 0-1, so we're ranking you where you're supposed to be. If the team is 1-0 that's above you and they're trash, go beat them. I don't know what you want me to tell you. Okay, I got a lot of hate mail over these preseason rankings.
Oh yeah. I answered a couple questions in our messenger for the rundown page.
I appreciate those. I can't remember the guy from the Wolfpack. I appreciate that because some information, and I will say this: some information is not always given to us. So we can only go by what we know. So we appreciate if you guys, hey man, especially if you play on the team. That's why my team we played 4 games. Okay, we 2-2. Wolfpack. We had y'all at 1-2. I appreciate that. We didn't know. We forgot. Y'all whooped on the Cavalry so bad. We forgot they was even a team. No disrespect, but some. Anyways.
And as always, if we find out we're wrong about something, we'll admit that we're wrong and we'll change it. We make mistakes too. We're not totally perfect.
It's the 10th episode, man. You act like we had 150. Come on, work with it.
And now we're doing we don't have 2 weeks in between shows to get ready. So now we're scrambling to try to get information, trying to get stats in, trying to get these graphics made for top players and top rankings. And I think I changed the rankings 4 times this week.
Yes, you did.
Between Chris and Commissioner Duncan telling me to move this person, move this team, that team. Yes, so
as of and because the rankings were not changed, let me just go over them right now. The preseason ones, so everybody gets their panties out of a bunch. Because we messed up with the record of the Wolfpack being 2-2, that would then move the Wolfpack up to being number 1 in the 2A preseason poll because they finished 2-2. Neo Pitbulls would then finish 2nd, followed by the Phantoms 3rd, and so on and so forth. Okay, everybody else is pretty much where they're supposed to be at. It was just those 2 that needed to be changed. Now, on the other side, there was a discrepancy. We forgot that the Detroit Ravens had a game that had got canceled. They got a forfeit win, so they're actually 1-0 in the preseason, and they will move up 1 spot to 4th, I believe it was, instead of being 5th. Minor adjustments, fellas. Minor adjustments. And again, I said this laughingly when somebody asked. They're pre-season rankings, okay? Preseason. They don't mean a thing, all right? We're just trying to gauge where everybody is at. That's all they're there for, just to gauge where everybody is at. Now these rankings tomorrow, when you get out the shower, you get down on your knees, and you pray to God to hold you in tight, and you wake up tomorrow and it's game day, that matters. Tomorrow matters. Okay. Now, granted, preseason does matter for national rankings by they skip a rule. But for this PFA championship, tomorrow is game day.
And the road to the championship starts tomorrow.
So whatever preseason things, rankings, and all that stuff you saw this week,
forget about that.
Forget about it.
It's everybody's 0-0, and it's go time now. But our last game, well, should have been a game. Our Dud Award goes to the team that backed out of the Flag City Phantoms game, and that is the Columbus Gladiators. Now the Phantoms don't have a game, unfortunately. They will get a 21-0 forfeit win against not the Gladiators, but a team.
I hate that the games get called like that, so close to game time. And I'm gonna be honest, you know what I'm saying? It was in the chat, so all the coaches and everybody know what I'm about to say. It was called because jerseys didn't come in on time. Now, I don't know if that has to do with players not trying to getting their money in and just say their dues in on time to you guys or whatever may have you. I don't know if you're ordering from Indonesia or where you getting your manufacturing.
You should have went with Trinity Trifecta or Grindhard.
I mean, jerseys. We not starting the game, but because of jerseys. Come on, man. This is the thing that we trying to move past from. This is the thing. It's the Ohio Glass. The Ohio Gladiators.
Oh, not the Columbus. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say the Columbus Gladiators. Two different teams.
Columbus. We're not trying. No disrespect. Y'all cool. The Ohio Gladiators. And matter of fact, you know what? I hate to be the guy, but I'm gonna be that guy because I'm always that guy. I can't help but tell what's on my mind. You should be ashamed, Ohio Glads. You just went to the national championship game and won your league last year. How you ain't got jerseys? I'm gonna say it.
And how are you not gonna have your jerseys before the first week of the season? Come on.
Throw the old ones on, man. Let's get this work. Put a practice. Listen, as long as all the jerseys match. Come on.
We're gonna try something.
That's not how I view you guys over there at the Ohio Glass. I know a lot of players over there, man. A lot of guys I played with. Come on now, y'all.
We're gonna try something, and I don't know if it's gonna work, but Jimmy's gonna try calling in and see if we can hear him. If I've never done it before through Talk Studio, but the link to the stream is not working for him to get on, and I've sent it to him 4 or 5 times.
Hey man, we're gonna try. Hey, if it works, hey, we got something new. We could probably have some of the guests. Some of the things.
Yep,
hey,
we can have when we have what's the flag and Ask Andy. The guests people can call in and
see.
I've been wanting to test it out. I just haven't had a chance to.
Episode 10, baby, we testing it out.
You're gonna be the guinea pig, episode 10, and all 6 people watching.
It is all good.
But anyways, our Dud of the Week award goes to the Ohio Glads. And I'm sure that the Flag City Phantoms would have rather get the win on the field than a forfeit win. But hey,
I mean, honestly, Brian,
1-0 to start the season. You're in first place, guys. You're in first place. That's all that matters, right? And I'll get them next week.
Like I said, Ohio Glass just came off a national championship, the whole 9 yards against Flag City. Would have been a banger. But we can't have it because we don't got jerseys.
Talking about practice. Playoffs. Playoffs.
We talking about jerseys?
Yeah. We need to do a bit on that, like we did with the Phantoms, instead of.
We talking about jerseys.
All right, let's see.
All right,
Mr. Melton, can you hear me? You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Can you hear him? Oh, we can hear him.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Sweet. I've never tested this out before, so I knew it could do it, but Joining us now.
Breaking ground.
Joining us on the show now via phone call because the stream wasn't working very well is coach of the Neo Pit Bulls, Mr. Jimmy Melton. Thank you so much for calling in. Glad I thought of this. Should have thought of it sooner, but now we can have people call in and harass us. That's awesome. And they'll have my phone number. I need to get a fake phone number so no one has my real one. But hey, how's it going, man? I know you're in the middle of moving, so we appreciate you taking some time. And I know Chris is excited to talk to you about some stuff. And but how's the season going so far? And are you ready for tomorrow?
Man, the season's going not as I expected, but it's going. Yeah, we're looking forward to tomorrow. Actually, season starts. We're excited. We got the Gators. They're on the clock.
Sweet.
So let me ask you this, Jimmy. Hey, I know we talk behind the scenes. And my good friend. How did you feel about the game last week against the Rams, bro?
Oh,
I already told people I was going to ask you. I told you I was going to ask you. I've already said my piece about it. I would like our viewers to hear your piece about it.
We were sick to our stomachs, so I can't imagine how it made you feel, man. But go ahead and talk about it.
So let me start off a little differently than what people might expect me to start out. Respect to the Rams, man. A great organization over there. Demario Davis is doing a great job with that organization. We got a lot of family over there. We all got history, right? Some of them have played for me in some shape. Actually, Demario played for me with the Ohio Broncos back in 2016. So a lot of history there. As far as the game goes, I was a little salty at the end of it, but it made it worse when my videographer posted the video and to see that we had 27 minutes of game time.
Sick to my stomach if I would have saw that.
Now, Chris and I have spoke on this. Duncan and I have spoke on this. Demario and I have spoke on this. If I lose a football game, I lose a football game. It is what it is. I've still won more games than I've lost. I just feel like the fans and the players in general really got screwed out of a great football game because it was turning out to be a great football game. It was clean on both sides. A lot of people thought it was going to be like a lot of drama, right? It's the Rams versus the Pit Bulls. There's going to be drama, and it wasn't. It was a great football game.
It was just fast.
So
fastest game I've ever been part of in my life, including youth football, which I coached a championship game that was cut in half.
Well,
and I think our youth game, my son I'm quoting my son on this one. He said, "Dad, they took 25 minutes of football away from us in a championship game, and we still played longer than you did."
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah. So
I mean, when it comes down to it, like I don't want to point fingers or play the blame game because I know we kind of put it past us, but who was responsible for the game going that fast? Was it the refs? Was it the issue with the refs, or was it I don't want to say it was the Cleveland Rams organization that was they're responsible for it, but like who do you feel that was the cause of the game going so quick?
Now, this might surprise a lot of individuals watching today, but I don't feel like the Cleveland Rams had anything to do with it.
Okay.
And I'm friends with a lot of referees. So any referee listen, I'm sorry for saying this, but it's the understanding of the college rule. And I don't feel like them referees that ref the game quite understood because they never stopped the clock. It was something that we brought up to the referees at halftime. It was something that we brought up to the referees in the third quarter. We asked them, why is the clock going so fast? Why is this game going so quickly? We never got a clear answer on that. So in no way, shape, or form do I blame the Rams at all.
Right.
They was there to play football just like we was. And I've heard from a few Ram players that they was disappointed how quickly it ended as well.
It's
So
sad.
I feel like because we got cheated, Jimmy, and not saying cheated in that essence, but as a fan, I feel like it's because we got cheated from a great game that somehow, some way, it should get ran back, like properly.
Oh no, I completely agree. You know, I feel like the fans got cheated. I feel like the players got cheated, and you know, I'm going to go out there and say something that a lot of owners won't say. This game is about the players. It's not about me. I own the team. You know, I fork out the money. But really, their sacrifice is what matters because I know what I'm getting into, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the players, in a game like that, this is all a battle of Northeast Ohio.
Man,
we're all friends. We all kick it together. We all have drinks together. You know, most of us know each other's families. And when you got a game that's going, it's 8-6. And the players got cheated. The fans got cheated. Professional development of football, it got cheated on Saturday because the referees didn't understand the clock rules.
yeah.
You know, but we can't dwell on it. We got to move forward. You know, I wish the Rams nothing but the best, but it just sucks that it ended that way.
For sure, it sucked. I mean, when I tell we were in the chat going, it's only the game started at 5 and it's 5:15. The game's almost over. What's going on? You know, like it wasn't that dramatic. But you know, I'm emphasizing there. But we were wondering what the heck was going on. But like you said, time to move on. Gators are on the clock. You guys kick off tomorrow at 7 o'clock. You travel to Michigan, right?
Yep, we travel to Michigan tomorrow. We have their
road cool. Now I know you were listening in. I know you were moving, but the rankings got changed. So I know when I first broke it to you and I told you, hey man, Jimmy, y'all number one. You was like, no. So you don't have to worry about that anymore. We had a hiccup. We had a hiccup and we didn't count one of the Wolfpack's games. So you're now number 2, sir. So
that's still too high for us. And I'm going to be honest, you know, a lot of players, a lot of coaches look at these rankings, and I think you and I talked about this, Chris. They look at these rankings like it's God's word.
It's not.
Honestly, for me, I seen the Westside cheat a game, and I feel like we should still be last place because what motivates my guys? You know, we're top 2, great, yay, bravo. Top 2 don't mean nothing when season starts. We have a 3A schedule. Believe it or not, we're a 2A team with the 3A schedule. So that 2A ranking,
I definitely was going to get into that too, Jimmy, because I think you're the only 2A team that plays 6 3A teams this year.
Would have been 7 if the Motor City Outlaws haven't folded.
Yeah.
So
you guys by far have the, and I guess that, and honestly, like I said, I like to go with wins and losses. I like to just count dubs and nails. Dubs and nails keeps it simple, keeps it everything cute, and keeps politics out of it. You know what I mean? But yeah, do I think that if we did say power rankings, that you guys would be higher than some of the teams in the 2A just based off of schedule? Even if you did take a loss, yeah, because you're playing up the competition, whether you win it or not. I'd rather see you lose by 6 against a 3A team than lose by 40 against a 2A team. You know what I mean? It's a different type of loss.
No,
but
and I
even
still,
you
know,
like I just said before you got on here, I still think some of our 2A. I believe I'm not even gonna say think. I believe the 2A teams that we have can go out and play some of the best other 3A teams out there and win. You guys, the Wolfpack, the Phantoms, Glass City, not Glass City, but who am I thinking about? Lima. I think if Lima's coming up, they're going to get things situated together. So, like, I know y'all are a 2A team, but I don't view you guys as a 2A team. You know what I mean? So I hope the audience kind of understands that when they see you guys play and when they see you guys hopefully winning some of these games against some of these 3A competition.
So my outlook on this schedule is a lot of people don't understand, but when I agreed to join the PFA, Duncan's like a brother to me, right? And he's not going to take it easy on me at all. Rightfully so, he shouldn't. We know each other for a long time. But I asked him to give me the hardest schedule possible.
Right.
That's a fact.
And he called me 2 weeks ago and said, Jimmy, change the plans. May 25th, you play the Detroit Ravens. I kind of sighed a little bit, you know what I mean? Like, damn it, it's the Ravens. But at the same time, my outlook on life is football. You either win or you lose. There's no in between, right? And he was like, but that gives you another 3-18. But I knew what I signed up for when I came to the PFA.
Right.
I want to play the best of the best. It is what it is. We are a true 2A team. I don't know if anybody's watched the games, but we're rolling with about 25 to 27 guys every week. And that's what makes us a 2A opposed to a 3A team. It's the bodies on the sideline, not the talent on the field. Talent-wise, I think we're the best in the state, talent-wise. Depth-wise is what puts us at a 2A.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to test that theory tomorrow when we play the games.
While I got you on here, this is not the same pit bulls.
Right.
Okay?
I was going to ask that question. I was going to bring that up.
It's not the pit bulls I played for. Okay, they're not under the same. None of the owners are the same. None of the coaches are the same. None of the players are. Jimmy can tell you right now. I went and looked at the team roster, and I can literally only probably name 3 players that I know that I played with. Now, as far as the younger guys, some of those guys, Brian, this will trip you out. I coached some of his players in middle school.
Oh, wow.
Literally. That's how young Jimmy's team is. I coached these kids in middle school, and now they're playing professional advanced football. They're out of high school.
Right.
So I know a lot of teams are looking at the Pit Bulls and thinking it's the same team from 2 years ago. This is a totally different organization. Okay, I just want to put that out there for him because it is.
Right.
It is, but you know when I took over ownership of the Pit Bulls, I knew what came with that. You know what I mean?
Oh.
I'm not naive.
But you're still not ducking smoke, so that's not going to change.
Yeah, that's never going to change, and we're trying to separate ourselves from the previous Pit Bull teams. Robert Putnam, you know, he's one of our sponsors, former owner. You know, I bought it because his time is limited, right? He owns a lot of businesses. He does a lot of work. So when I agreed to take over, we had a lot of stuff. What a lot of people don't understand is I lost 3 owners. So I'm doing this by myself.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And one of the owners that I lost due to personal reasons, I'm not going to get into that one, but, you know, I didn't just lose an owner and a business partner. I lost my starting quarterback, which, if you ask me and a lot of other people, is probably one of the best quarterbacks in the nation.
Wow.
And
that's
why you see,
Brian.
and that's why you see the Pit Bulls team that you see now. We're very, very young, and I've been doing this for 17 years, man. And this is probably the youngest football team that I've ever been part of. So there's a lot of growing pains, a lot of frustration. I'm learning how to coach a new generation of football, and that's what a lot of people are afraid of. Erie taught me that last year. You know, shout out to the Express, shout out to Paul Pennington. He brought in a lot of young guys last year, and I had to work with a lot of young players, so prepare me for this year. But I'm used to having the household names on my team.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't have that this year. So we're still growing, we're still learning, and that's what a lot of people got to understand. We're not the same Pit Bulls from 2022. We're not the same Pit Bulls from 2019. Our mentality is the same. We're not going to back down from anybody. We're going to play anybody in the nation. We don't care who you are. Beat us by 40 or lose to us by 40, we're going to play you. We're going to line up and play football.
For sure. I just say that, Jimmy, because everybody want to try to, I'm going to get my get back. This is not the same team.
Nope.
Not
Man,
there.
I've heard
So
that so
anybody
many
you thought
times.
was on this team that you probably played against, like me or some other guys from 2-3 years ago, not there. So
Half you guys are
you gonna
retired
see some
doing
youngins.
podcasts,
Yeah. This
doing
is
cooking
what I do.
shows, you know.
This is what I do now. I don't be on the field. This is what I do now. So
Right,
you
you
gonna
guys are all
you
doing
gonna see my
podcasts
youngins,
and cooking shows, so it is what it is, right?
bro.
Right.
Sure. But no, Jimmy, I definitely appreciate your time, man. Taking out your schedule. I know you got some keep on moving. And I appreciate you being our guinea pig on the 10th episode show, being our first call-in.
Yeah,
So
hey.
now we know it works. We're gonna start using that mug. Okay.
Right.
There we go. Hey, I'm glad I could be the guinea pig today.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
I knew my Roadcaster board did it. I don't have many friends, so I couldn't just test it, So
Brian, don't short yourself like that. Man. Don't short yourself.
I really don't have any friends in Florida because I'm.
It's okay, Brian. I'll be your friend. It's
All right, thanks, Jimmy. I appreciate it. Well, Coach, we like Chris said, we appreciate you jumping on and being the guinea pig for the call-in feature of our show. Best of luck tomorrow. We'll definitely be watching and make sure you get those stats into me.
Absolutely, I will.
I don't accept no delays or no. I'm just kidding.
Hey, just remember, I'm new at this, so it might take me a few minutes. I'm not tech savvy, so you got to work with me a little bit.
That's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
I get a feeling that a lot of teams won't be getting those stats into us when we need them.
Right.
I'll make sure I get them over to you guys. I promise.
All right. We
All
appreciate
right,
it.
Coach.
All right. Have a good
All right,
night,
thank
man.
you guys.
That was pretty cool. I'm glad we tested that.
Man, that was cool. I'm glad we can do that.
I got my number on the screen, but no one's called in, so I'm just gonna take it down so no one sees it.
That's cool though.
I don't want no prank calls from. I don't want no prank calls from like any teams that we didn't pick to win.
Right.
Like the teams that are not in the league or something. So we're just gonna hide that number.
No, we gotta get a burner phone. Get a.
No, I mean I can probably get a fake number, but it's not a big deal. I can always block them if they start harassing me.
But that's so cool though. I'm glad we're able to do that. That gives us another avenue to be able to get people on the show. You don't have to physically, show your face. You can call in. Hey, and I think that's Andy Garcia. I was just about to call in.
Oh, he can call. I'll put it. Who's Andy? Oh.
I don't know if it's Andy or not, but I know it's Flag City. You said,
is that Aaron? Maybe it's Aaron. If it's Aaron, he has my phone number. He don't need it on the screen. I'll put it. We'll wait for him to call. Since it's the kickoff show, we'll run it a little longer.
Yeah, well, yeah, call us.
Call us.
That's crazy.
If you're from Flag City, call us and tell us how you feel about that Dud of the Week award. Not for you guys, but for the other team.
Yeah, that's a crushing blow. That's a crushing blow. I'm really excited about tomorrow's game. I'm really excited. I really am excited. I know it doesn't really show on my face because I had a hard day today, but I can't wait till these live start popping off tomorrow. I really can't wait. I'm gonna be flipping back and forth. I'm not gonna lie. The game I'm really watching, that I'm really going to literally watch from start to finish, is the Mafia game, the Mafia BTA Boy game. I'm definitely watching that from beginning to end. I'm gonna watch that whole game. The other games I'll probably sneak a peek in. I do want to watch. I'll probably watch the Bison. I probably won't watch the Bison game until it's over. Like I don't want nobody to tell me the score, and then I'll go and watch it, and then I'll watch the whole game from the live stream because I definitely want to see that whole game too. But I know I'm not gonna be able to switch back and forth like that. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna be tuning in. So Bills Mafia, BTA Boys, you heard it. I'm watching y'all game. Okay, I'm watching y'all stream. So prepare yourselves. Okay?
Don Wadowitz said a Google Voice number is great for that, so they can't get my real phone number. Don, you're a genius. We love you, Don. We're still trying to figure out a way to get up there to that Racine game. We're trying to get some budget for the media team to send Chris and I.
We've been working on that. On that. Now we got these new little gadgets we're gonna start using. It's gonna be great because now the sky's the limit. Now we can have call in. I might just do the whole extra point show. I might just do just all call ins on the extra point.
There you go. Were you on? Were you on?
I didn't get a chance. I was rushing.
I
didn't get a
couldn't
chance to do it
last
today.
week. I didn't get a notification. Nothing.
Yeah, last week I was able to do the extra point show. I got on at like 6:45. I wasn't able to jump on today because we was having all this technical difficulty trying to get set up. But yeah, definitely as always, I will always jump on either 6:30 or 6:40. The day of the show. It's called the Extra Point, and we will. I'll be going live from the Facebook page. So we just gonna be going live there because we know that's where we started. We're not gonna never forget where we came from, but we're trying to gradually move you guys over to our YouTube channel because it's a lot better for us over here with the content. I'm not gonna lie to you folks. We got a lot more freedom over here. We got a lot more things we can do. And it's just better for us to be over here. So we still want you to be able to, we're still going to post our information on Facebook as far as like games and flyers and things of that nature. But as far as video content, you'll see some reels on Facebook and things of that nature. But our live shows, that kind of content is going to be on our YouTube channel. You can go right now and subscribe to it. It's PFA The Rundown podcast. Please, it takes 2 seconds, so I'm gonna put up the link here later on tonight. We just want to try to get to a platform where we're able to use all the creative avenues that the creative ideas that we have, and not feel like we're being kind of boxed in. And Facebook kind of boxes you in with some of the things that we want to do. So we just trying to make a big show, a better show for you guys. That's all.
True. So next week we will be. We might have to adjust. You might be on your own next week, Chris, because I might have a photo shoot for a show that I got. I don't know yet. I won't know until a couple of days before. But we'll see how it goes.
So we'll definitely
I think
we'll definitely be having to we'll do it. The platform, I was saying the platform. The way the show goes, just like the way the show went today. Next week we'll be recapping the games from last week. Like I said, we'll probably try to talk to a couple of the players or a coach from the games of the week. Only the games of the week are we going to try to get interviews from a coach or a representative. Okay. And we already told you which games those are. We also have a flyer, a graphic. I'll put that out tonight to let everybody know what the games of the week are, as well. But we'll just be going over that, and then we'll be previewing the next week's games that are coming up. So we might have somebody from, like we might have KP back on if we got another big Michigan game from Rutgers University. We might have somebody from the team that's playing come on. So that's how the shows are going to be, since we're going to be going week to week. So we appreciate all the people who've been asking us to be on the show. That was the preseason thing. Okay, because we wanted everybody to try to make it fair, get their chances, because we knew when the season started, we're going to have a little bit more structure in the people that we're talking to, so we can make sure you guys are getting the proper information out. So with that being said, we will not be taking any more walk-ins.
We'll take call-ins now.
Call in. Well, yeah, matter of fact, you can call in now. We'll probably start doing that at the end of the shows now. We'll probably start taking some calls at the end of the show. So you definitely can call in. We will not stop your freedom of speech. But as far as being actual interview on the show, we're going to try to, in season, we're going to leave that to the game of the week participants, which will always have 2 of them. And then whatever the next game of the week's games are going to be, we'll have those participants on the show as well. Okay,
sure.
So that's how it'll be going from here on out, guys.
And every now and then we'll throw in a what's the flag segment and ask Andy and stuff like
and we
that.
got Coach's Corner, and I have not forgot flipping the fool.
What's that?
That's my little Shaq and the Fool thing. When I'm catching people doing what they're not supposed to be doing on the football field. When like my man from the Pit Bulls, that sniper came out on you when he was trying to score that touchdown, and the turf monster got you. Things like that. Things like that's gonna be on Flipping the Fool. So
oh man,
be careful out there.
Or the word on the street. Also, word on the street.
Yeah, word on the street is Word on the street. That segment in itself is just me ranting.
Rumor mill stuff.
The rubber mill stuff. I'm as a player, I talk to a lot of ex-players, and some of the players that I played with are now coaches. So I get a lot of backroom conversations that I really can't like talk about, but I can always go on a nice rant. So that's another segment of the show where I'll be ranting about things like the jersey, situation. I could have went on a good, nice little 5-10 minute rant about that, about the Ohio Glad situation. That definitely would have been a word on the street moment for real. Because word on the street is you slipping. Okay.
Well, thanks to all of our guests. Sad that Coach Newsom didn't get on here.
The Pitbulls will be back on next week.
I saw that. Thanks to Jimmy from the Neo Pitbulls joining us. Thanks to KP from Rubbish University for joining us. Like Chris always says, don't forget to like and subscribe to all of our social medias, Facebook, Instagram, more importantly, YouTube channel. If you missed the show live, you can always replay it, just the audio if you don't want to look at Chris and I's faces, on Spotify, correct? Spotify?
Yes, sir.
Day or so, as soon as I get it uploaded to Chris.
Sunday night, Monday morning to be there.
And join us next week for all the scores and highlights for week 1. We'll look into week 2 as well. I know Vashawn Brown of the Flag City Phantoms is going to maybe jump on for us next week. He had mentioned that he might want to, so I already booked that before we changed it around a little bit.
That's cool.
And we'll see how other guests go, but we'll be back at a regular Thursday show hopefully next week. Like I said, I may or may not be here. I may be in front of some loudspeakers taking pictures of a rock band. So not sure yet.
All right.
But, as always, Chris Cousins, I'm Brian Mitchum. And everybody have a safe travel this weekend, and good luck to all the teams that are playing in the PFA, as well as the other teams that are playing in their respective league kicking off this week. And I know some leagues are kicking off next week. So everybody stay safe, and we will see you next week.
Let's play some football.